Hello, everyone. This is Logan59XP here, and of course, we're here for the direct because why would I not be here for the direct? And also, Ethan is here,
Hello.
and also he's playing Mario
The
64.
PC port of Mario 64
Yeah,
with the Render 96 mods enabled.
yeah. Here's a little. Here, I'll show it on stream for a little bit because why not? I guess. Here's the Discord feed in all of its. Actually, it looks honestly totally fine on the Discord feed, but that's probably just because it's, a glorified. Well, technically a glorified N64 game. So it doesn't have. So it's
No,
not.
this guy is not leaving. You got to get him to get out of there, and I don't know why it's such a pain in the ass for this version. I remember doing it on the DS version. He just comes out, but it's kind of random with this one. Can I tell you one thing I know we won't see?
What?
We're not seeing anything Pokemon related.
Oh yeah, that's like a given, basically.
Yeah, that's. And I don't think it's gonna come out on Switch 2 because I mean, when is that? When have they ever done that?
I mean, there's a first for everything. But I don't think it will be either.
No, just. I mean, they had the if they didn't do it for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, I don't think they'll do it for this one.
Except this is a bit of a different situation than that was. Because that we were, in that case we were talking about a enhanced version of a game that already existed for a console that was significantly less powerful. This is different because this is a brand new game, essentially.
Yeah, but I still
Made
think
for
they could have done that.
Made for hardware that they could easily make a better version for way easier.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's quite the same. I still don't think there's going to be a Switch 2 version either way, but it's not the same situation as Ultra Sun and Moon.
Gotcha.
I think at best, we will get a it runs better. Well, I mean, of course, it will, in theory, just run better out of the box just because it's on the Switch too. Hopefully, yeah, hopefully. That's still a big up in the air. Like, will the games run better by default, like it would on
I hate to be the negative Nancy, but I'm gonna say no.
I'm kind of back and forth on it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. If we do get performance patches, I don't think they're gonna be free.
Well, I'm not even talking about performance patches. I just mean it just like if you just played if you played a launch, like if you played Battlefield 4, a launch PS4 game from 2013 on PS5, it'll just run better. Like, even though there's no patch, not even for the PS4 Pro. So it's still 900p, but it ran better. It utilized the hardware. That's what I'm talking about. Like, will it just utilize the hardware by default, even if it doesn't look any better? So will the frame rate be more stable just by the sheer nature of being played on that platform without them having to do any additional work? That's the thing I'm talking about. Performance patches, that's a different thing. But yeah, so yes, I didn't do a video on this because I didn't really feel like I needed to. I feel like there's not enough for me to really sit because because I'm not expecting much from this. like
Yeah.
this is maybe the last one here. We don't really know. I think there's a decent chance the September Direct might be the actual real last one, but this is going to be close to it if it isn't actually it. And I don't know what else significant they can really do.
I think they might break the September Direct trend unless the Switch 2 is announced by then.
What I was thinking was they would do okay, so like in 2021 they didn't announce the last Smash character in the September Direct, but they said, hey, tune in to this other presentation, we'll reveal it there. I'm thinking maybe they'll do that. Where, like, they won't mention the Switch 2 for, like, most of the September Direct, and then at the very end they'll be like, hey, stay tuned next month, we're gonna reveal it then. Maybe. That might be what they do. Because I don't think... I just can't... Maybe it's just because we don't have many examples, but, like, I don't think they're going to announce the Switch 2 in the September Direct. I think it's going to be its own thing, because it justifies being its own thing, and also it was its own thing last time, even though last time was obviously a different time and a different kind of thing for them, but still. But yeah, I guess kind of the long and short of it is, yeah, so we're not going to have anything Pokemon, because Pokemon's their own thing, mostly. We're not going to see... I'm just going to...
Twilight Princess HD?
I don't think either of those are happening. Everyone... It keeps getting brought up. It keeps getting brought up, like 5 years in, or whatever. That has
more than that.
Well, okay.
Way more than that.
They've
been saying that for so long now. It's kind of insane.
I don't think it's been the entire life cycle, but it's been like most of it. I'd say like 2018, 2019 is probably the earliest I think I can remember it being brought up. But yeah, so like 5 years, I'm just going to say 5 years. I don't know, long enough, and it hasn't happened. I will say, though, if it's going to happen, this is kind of their last chance. But I don't think that will be here.
Yup.
Now, Prime 2 and or 3 feels like that needs to happen. Like, regardless whether or not they show 4, they just need to get those other 2 games out the door, because it'd be weird if they weren't there. And right. I'm more willing to believe those are coming, because we already got the first one. So I'm more willing to believe that 2 and 3 are coming, even though supposedly they're just gonna be like the GameCube Wii versions at 1080p and not like really a remake, but like it's better than not having them.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever they're actually doing for it, like if that's gonna be a thing. I mean, especially if they have Prime 4 here, then they basically then they basically have to have 2 and 3, because it'd be really weird to show off Prime 4 for the first time in like 7 years and then just completely skip over 2 and 3. That'd be like really weird. But I guess that now, of course, brings us to, Prime 4. I mean, if this game is still on the Switch, it must be here. It must be here. This is the last chance.
Because I think if they were going to reveal it, I think they'd want to reveal like the good version first, rather than here's the shit version.
But they showed off Breath of the Wild on Wii U.
Yeah, but that was in like 2014, and that was.
I'm not talking about 2014. I'm talking about E3 2016 when they centered the entire event around it.
That's true, but there wasn't as big as a power gap between the Wii U and Switch.
That's true. The gap will most certainly be much bigger this time. But but I do remember back then being like, man, look how cool.
Fuck.
Oh, you're not going to make it?
There we go. All right.
But, I mean, I do remember back then being like, man, look how cool Breath of the Wild looks on the Wii U. I can't imagine what the NX version is going to look like. And then it didn't really look that much better. But, I don't know. I don't necessarily think that... I don't know. Yeah, the Gulf is going to be bigger this time, but I don't know. I still feel like if this is going to be at least, I don't know. I mean, if they could show off Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, I don't see why they can't show off Prime 4 on the Switch, even if there is a Switch 2 version.
I mean, that's true, but we'll see. Hold on.
So yeah, so yeah. So yes, that's no Pokemon, no Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. Prime 2 and 3 I think are decently possible. Prime 4 will only be shown off if they show 2 or 3.
I don't think so. I don't think they have to.
I don't know. I mean, it just feels weird to skip over them. I mean, I guess there's nothing stopping them from waiting until the next. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. This is going to be 40 minutes. That's not a good sign. All the longer directs usually are just full of shovelware and the stuff we don't care about.
Well, most of the directs are like 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah, but the shorter ones always give us better stuff. Oh, well. Start in the fucking.
Okay, so I think I do have like maybe a couple of like things that people have kind of talked about that are like, yeah, that probably will be here. Like people have talked about like a new Mario Party. It's been a couple years since the last one. Sure, if they want to throw one more out of the last second, I guess sure.
I don't see why they wouldn't. I don't see why not.
I mean, I don't think there needs to be another one already, but like, sure, why not? I mean, we had like 3 of them on the GameCube or whatever, or 4 of them on the GameCube or however many there were. So like, sure, why not? Yeah. So I guess that's a fairly safe one right there. Maybe the final Splatoon update? I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's on.
Yes, it is.
That's going fucking crazy. Alrighty.
Okay.
Open up with Luigi's Mansion watch.
No, no, it ain't. No, it ain't. Hey, look, Alpha Dream's not dead. Or maybe they are dead and they got someone else to do it. I don't know, but this is clearly.
Okay, this looks promising.
Okay, well, I wasn't expecting this to be here. Now, who's developing this? I want to know who's developing this.
Oh, wow, they're back, finally. I hope it's as good as Bowser's Inside Story and the Superstar Saga. This is actually pretty cool.
I mean, I think, was it earlier this year they put out some survey and they included, like, Mario and Luigi in it? And people were all like, does that mean Mario and Luigi is coming back? Because obviously we have, Mario RPG is kind of having a renaissance right now. Like, in general, with all the games kind of coming back, so, like, sure.
Yee.
But yeah, I'm really curious who's making this. Because it's probably a new developer. Maybe made up of former people, but it's obviously not Alpha Dream.
It doesn't give off the same vibe as prior Mario and Luigi games.
I've never played, like, any of these.
Oh, you didn't know? You missed out.
Probably doesn't help that they've all been on handhelds up till this point. It's weird. Like, every time I think that there's not much else they can show, then they, like, give us something that I didn't think they would give us. Because I remember having this exact thought. No, okay, so that's a holiday game.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Shinya Takahashi.
Brothership, that's... I don't know how to feel about that, because, I mean, I'm glad Mario and Luigi's back, but... I mean, I gotta be honest, I wasn't really too impressed.
Please look forward to a seafaring adventure that unfolds across mysterious islands, as well as evolved Bros moves with Mario. And
But yeah, I remember because like after Tears of the Kingdom, everyone was like, well, what else is there? What else could they possibly have? And then they dropped like and then they dropped like a couple of and then we got like Mario RPG and Mario Wonder and the Thousand Year Door, and it's like, oh, okay, so they do actually have stuff still. I'm surprised that they didn't just save this for this direct. I found it kind of weird that they announced this like a month early. I mean, not that it's like a big game or anything, but it's just weird that like they didn't just save it for this.
Then give it your best shot and aim for the top of the online leaderboards. You can also try more difficult legend challenges. Like completing Super Mario.
So, okay, so if Mario and Luigi is coming out in November, if Prime 4 is in this, and if it's this year, then that probably means it's October, which is when Dread came out, so that would make sense anyway, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Let me get my towel real quick.
You've only got one shot to survive. Will you be the last one standing? Only got one Nintendo World Championships NES Edition launches on Nintendo Switch July 18th. Pre-orders for the digital version are available now on Nintendo eShop.
Did they ever make an NES version of this?
What do you mean an NES version of this?
Or an SNES version?
I know there was Nintendo Power Fest. That was kinda sorta the SNES equivalent, I think. I'm not entirely sure. Like I don't know if they ever got like a cart, if that makes any sense. Like where it was like an actual game, so to speak. I just know that that was like an event they held. I'm trying to think what else could I think of that. Okay, I'll make another prediction for something that will not be here. That from like a couple of years ago when people are talking about a new Donkey Kong. That's
How has Donkey Kong not gotten a new game in the entirety of the Switch era? Like that is, to me, it just blows my mind. Especially how popular he was in the Mario movie. Like they just Nintendo completely forgot about him, and he's like the first Nintendo character alongside Mario. I mean, Nintendo started with the game Donkey Kong.
Well, they didn't start with it, but that was their first like breakout hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This was rumored. Fantasian coming to multi-platform. I know people.
I don't even know what this game is.
Well, it's made by the creator of Final Fantasy, and up until this point, it's been locked behind Apple Arcade.
Oh, really?
So people have been hoping, but the reason why people were doubting that it was going to come to other platforms because Apple like funded the whole game basically. So they just assumed that it was going to be stuck on there forever. Well, not anymore. I'm sure it'll be on like Xbox and PlayStation as well. But yeah, this is something I know that people have wanted to see this game. Hashtag break free, as people used to say a few years ago, or whatever. This is really random. What? This is so, like, why? Why now?
I wish they would have called it Mii Sports.
Well, if the game...
It's the same Mii editor that Miitopia used.
This is so random. I've never seen them randomly update a game like this, I think, in a while. I think the last time that they did this was like with Animal Crossing New Leaf, when they put out that amiibo update like 3 or 4 years after the game came out. This isn't as long as that, obviously, but it's like, this is like really random. Like, why now? Why didn't this come out like a year ago? This is like so weird. Like, I mean, neat, but like it's kind of too little too late for a game that already...
They don't even have an actual release date either. It's like, it's summer, just release it.
Yeah,
I don't know, I heard a direct.
But yeah, it's definitely weird that they just put that out, especially for a game that already didn't really land anyway. So I don't know, but I guess it's neat that it's not completely abandoned, I guess.
What is this?
I do not know. It's probably nothing I would know. Maybe it's something new. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what's another, like, long-ish standing rumor that's, like, never materialized? So, like, yeah, there's... Well, it used to be Prime Trilogy, and then that, of course, died when we got Prime 1. And then, yeah, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess. Donkey Kong wasn't as long as those other two in terms of rumors, but, you know, that was a rumor for a few years.
It's an array of cartoon classics.
I don't know, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that hasn't... You want to know a game I'm very surprised we haven't seen yet?
What?
We still haven't seen that new Monolith Soft IP that's been on their website for like 5 years.
Yeah, it's probably going to be on the next console.
Yeah, but like it's still strange because it's like it's been on their website. Like the little like artwork, that one drawing. It's been on their website for like 5 or 6 years. So you think that it would have come out on the current system. But clearly it's not going to at this point. It's just strange. In fact, it probably will be when they do like the big, assuming that there is one, when they do the big, you know, Switch 2 event, that will probably be the Monolith Soft game that they have there, because it's obviously too soon for anything Xenoblade, probably. Unless it's like, I guess the only other thing I could really see them having is like, you know, X remake or something. Like, not remaster or a port, like a remake. Because obviously if it was just a port, they could just do that now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this is not the best direct we've had.
I mean, we're basically just kind of going through the motions here of waiting for the first party stuff to show up again.
Yeah.
That's all, folks. Emergency meeting. New crewmate and imposter roles are being added to Among Us.
Did you know they're doing a TV show for this?
I heard.
Which is like, I guess I'm not surprised. It's just a little weird. And I get it, like, those things take time, but it's kind of like, by the time the show comes out, how many people actually care?
Yeah, I feel that. Then again, the Fallout TV show did a fucking amazing.
Yeah, but that was based on a franchise that, like, has been around for a long time. Whereas Among Us was kind of this game that... I know it was out longer, like, or I think it came out in, like, 2018, I think. But it didn't blow up until 2020, and then it kind of died off around, like, 2021, 2022. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. I get that that's just kind of the nature of projects like that. They take time. And therefore, by the time they release, you know, I don't know. I'm sure it'll do fine. It's just... If that had come out a few years ago, I think people would have cared more.
Merge all of the battle buddies in your party to call forth a giant fusion summon and wreak havoc on your foes.
Okay, I got another thing I know will not be here. We're not going to get Persona 3 Reload or Metaphor or any of that stuff. Because they're going to be saving it for the Switch 2. Oh, what?
Oh, Donkey Kong.
This looks... Is this an update?
It's the first one.
Okay. You know, I'll take that. I'll take that. Because, like, I looked at the visuals and I'm like, this isn't a new game. Is this like an update for Tropical Freeze or something? I mean, they've already done weird updates already in this direct.
They're doing Donkey Kong dirty.
Roll on through. Each level is filled with hijinks, but they're no match for these top bananas. mine carts.
I wonder if they're gonna bring the 3DS levels into this game.
Flying rocket barrels.
There were new levels in the 3DS version.
And even
Yeah.
ride on Rambi. There are plenty of transportation methods available. Pass a Joy-Con controller to a buddy for 2-player local co-op. 80 appealing levels are in store, including the additional levels from the
I mean,
Nintendo
it's better than
3DS
nothing. I'm just surprised we never got
2025 January.
2025.
I mean January, but still, it's weird to see 2025.
Kong's jungle escapades.
For a Wii game?
Well, then again, they put out Return to Dreamland in January.
Next, please take a look at this.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is
Alright. Is this gonna be a new Donkey Kong or
no.
is this Zelda?
See, that's what I'm thinking, but like, oh, they're finally showing this off. This was
What's
this was announced like 3 years ago. We haven't seen anything on it since. This is the Dragon
Oh.
Quest 3 like HD 2D remake. They announced this like 3 years ago. But then again, I do remember hearing something recently about how like something was going to happen with it finally.
with allies to face the Archfiend.
I wonder what's going to happen with Dragon Quest 12, because like that game was also announced like 3 years ago. We haven't seen it since. And also like both Sugiyama and Toriyama aren't here anymore. And they're like two of the three that people make up kind of the unit that is Dragon Quest. So that's going to be, yeah. That's something that was like a thing, by the way, that like I was not expecting to like happen this year. Was like this was gonna be the year that Toriyama died. I don't think anyone expected that.
No, no one did.
I was fully expecting, like everyone else, for like Nozawa to go first. That would have made far more sense, but that's not how it panned out apparently.
Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. Coming to Nintendo Switch.
Okay, release date. I mean, after this long, you know, it better have one.
Is it only on Switch?
Oh no, I'm sure it's on everything. I don't remember if it's on everything, but this was rumored that it was going to be all the first three. Cuz it was originally just going to be the third game, but there were rumors that they were going to also remake 1 and 2. So that's neat.
任天堂ダイレクトをご覧の皆様、こんにちは、堀井雄二です。ドラゴンクエスト3の映像、いかがでしたか？ようやく発売日を発表できて、
Now they're definitely not going to have 12 here, because again 12 is not going to be well, it probably won't be. I mean, it's possible. I don't think it will be. Well, then again, if you remember way back in the day that Dragon Quest 11 was actually the first ever Switch game that was announced, like way back in 2015, when they were like, yeah, it's going to be coming out on the PS4 and the NX, or I forget if they actually
Oh, yeah.
like I remember I made like a little video back way back then on it, and it was like that big of a deal. But yeah, like that's probably like the most interest. It's like one of those like kind of things that I'm not even sure how many people even remember that like that was technically the first official Switch game to be announced. Yeah, it didn't come out on the Switch until like 2019, but still.
Say hello to Wait, He-Man? Great Scott, is that Marty McFly? The world of Funko is coming to life in this action-adventure mashup for the ages. Play with more than 60 characters as you explore locations based on over 20 iconic movies, TV shows, and more. Use special
Just saying, we are about 17 minutes in.
each
Yeah.
own unique puzzles, hidden areas, and
And so far we've had Mario and Luigi, a random Switch Sports update, Donkey Kong Returns, think there's one thing I'm missing.
No, I think that's everything.
I feel like there's one other one that I'm forgetting.
We've got a smorgasbord of spooky.
Because they had something after Mario and Luigi. I don't remember what it was.
Ready for an adventure of
Oh yeah, Nintendo World Champions, but no,
I mean-
no one cares.
I mean, I know that doesn't really count, but still, I don't know. Okay, so here's this. I mean, of course, this was going to be here. Give it one last little thing before they send it out the door.
I hope they reveal the first one's coming out too.
shenanigans.
It's really weird that they put that game out on the 3DS in, like, 2018.
27. Pre-orders are available.
But then again, they put out a couple of older games on the 3DS at the end of its life, like Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Yeah.
Catch 'em and lead 'em on a joyful
And, I think there's one other one. Oh, yeah, Woolly World. Yeah, that's a game that hasn't gotten a Switch port yet.
Oh, it's not coming. There's no Luigi's Mansion 1 port.
decorate your island however you'd like.
That is
And more.
a tragedy.
Plus, up to 4 players in local co-op can team up to catch special Denpa Men. The new Denpa Men is free to play and launches as a time.
In fact, I'm willing to bet we would have had Woolly World on the Switch at this point if it wasn't for that 3DS port that probably nobody played.
Yeah.
Defense installment of the Metal Slug series.
See, here's the thing, right? Like, everyone complained about, like, those late generation 3DS games, like, why weren't they on the Switch, right? But that won't be a problem this time, because even if they do put out stuff on the Switch, we'll still be able to play it.
Right.
So, like, again, the whole thing of, like, you know, what the Z-Day doesn't have a Switch 2 version. Yeah, you'll still be able to play it. You know, like, that's already a big improvement. You'll at least be able to play the dang thing on the Switch 2.
Oh, I agree.
And set off across a decaying landscape.
Yeah. One game that definitely needs a Switch port is, like, Samus Returns. That was, like, the first big one that people were like, why the hell is this on the 3DS? Like, this should not be on the 3DS. I don't know.
Oh,
Especially,
yeah, I agree.
Like
That
it-
shouldn't have been on a 3DS.
or at the very least, it should have been, like, because they did a couple of, like 3DS / Switch games. Like, it could have been one of those.
Oh boy, I can't wait for Miscellaneous Game X.
I can't wait to see the games everyone wants to see on this service not come to this service.
Right.
And Metroid.
Remake of Samus's first adventure in Metroid Zero Mission.
So they got a couple notable games, but not
Can
them.
we actually get the
Coming to the new
Can we get the Zero suit?
Oh, well, that mature.
time?
brave the dangerous lost land to stop the
I'm trying to think if there even
Don't tell
are.
me this is going to be a separate thing from.
hunter.
Why would it be a separate thing?
And
Oh, that's what it said. Like, look at the title.
I mean,
South Park.
perfect. Okay, I see what they're
Or
doing.
Super Smash Bros.
conspiracy
Ooh, look, it's widescreen.
dark. Now online multiplayer.
Which actually, if I remember, because there are a couple of N64 games, very very few that do support widescreen. Obviously, that's coming to the service because of the new game coming out. But that's kind of neat, I guess.
This is Verona, a young
No
Man-
Smash Bros. Rip. That would have been cool to see.
That's it. No Smash.
Yeah.
We're gonna start getting that, by the way. Like, people like used to meme on that forever ago, but like, the instant that the Switch 2 is like official, 100%, every single direct is genuinely going to be that's it, no Smash until they announce it.
Oh, I was talking about the 64 version coming to NSO.
where you combine the fantasy
Oh, I mean, that would still be cool too, but I don't know if we're ever gonna get that at this point. I think it'd be cool, even if it is a little redundant, but
combined with a cannon to attack.
that's probably okay. That's probably more likely than Pokemon now. Are we ever gonna get Pokemon? I don't know. I mean,
The tide of battle.
I think I probably said this a few years ago, but maybe they'll like unironically do the thing they did last time where they basically wait until the end of the generation to do it. Like 2025, they'll start rolling them out.
7 arcade games featuring
I don't think we're gonna get Pokemon ever. I
Yeah.
think it's just not gonna happen.
I feel like it's not gonna happen either, but I don't know.
Duke it out in Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
It's a bit of a side tangent, but you know how like with Wii U USB helper you can like put games on the Wii U that like otherwise wouldn't really work?
What do you mean?
Like you can put like Melee on there and it'll just work.
You gotta have the ISO.
I know, but like the main point I'm getting at is like one thing I've been curious about is like can you like because obviously there's the DS Virtual Console and obviously the Pokemon games were never on there. Can you like force it to work? Is there a way you can like get that to work? Like
I'm not sure.
that's something I'm kind of curious about. Oh, another Mario thing. Oh, here's
I
this.
think you're ahead of me.
Okay, well this is the thing that was kind of obvious.
Resort. Get ready to jump into the biggest selection of Mario Party minigames yet in Super Mario Party Jamboree.
That's a title. That's a title.
Collect the most stars.
It's also weird that they're like resurrecting the previous name.
Is the super really necessary?
Really, it's not.
No.
Maybe there's a reason for it. Like maybe it's more similar to like that game than the last one for some reason. I don't know.
Raceway. With the new Turbo Dice item.
Yeah, that's a weird name though. Jamboree.
Here on Goomba Lagoon, the ebb and flow of the tide
I'm gonna predict
and things
October.
mix up when
That's my prediction for when this is coming out.
Well, it should be like February 2025.
Oh man, February 2025. I mean, they gotta have something to put out between January and March. Long-
Do they, though?
controlled by
I mean, they really don't. But like, there was nothing after Color Splash for the Wii U aside from Breath of the Wild. So I don't know. Obviously that's a bit of a different situation.
players can go head-to-head online in the Coupathlon mode.
So here's a question. Do you think we're going to like
First place.
get stuff for the Switch after the Switch 2 is out, and like how substantial would it be?
There's ports of old games that don't need the power of the Switch 2 to run.
Mario Party yet will soon be
I mean, to this day, we're still getting PS4 games, so...
launches on the Nintendo
True, but Nintendo has also not really done cross-gen, like really.
The latest installment in the Mario Party
We'll see.
series, Super Mario Party Jam.
I mean, I think that there's a decent chance we'll get. I think we'll probably get at least a couple of like more ports because obviously there's a lot of ports right now.
Mario Party.
There'll probably be a few more of those, but
And now, please take a look at this.
Alright, what is this? Don't tweet this out.
Wait.
A 2D Zelda.
You want to know what's funny is people have been talking about a new 2D Zelda for a while, and I've been like, I mean, that'd be neat, but like, I don't know if they're actually gonna do it.
This looks just like Link's Awakening.
I think, I think that was also something people had talked about. I mean, I guess it makes sense to reuse stuff from that, but
Yeah.
okay, now when's this gonna come? Wait, did they give a release date for Mario Party? I didn't pay attention. It's probably this year. I didn't actually see what it was.
Oh, so you play as Zelda, so it'll be called The Legend of Link.
The Legend of Link.
Okay, this is cool.
Echoes of Wisdom.
Hello, everyone.
And there he is.
Producer of the Legend of Zelda series. What you just saw was the latest installment, The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
We still have like 10 minutes left, by the way. Like 10 or 12 minutes. And every time I think they don't have much else to show, they keep proving me wrong.
We wanted to create a new gameplay style that
I mean, that's a good thing, but it's just, I keep thinking, what else can they possibly have to show? It's the end of the generation. And then it's like, oh yeah, here's this and this and this. And it's just weird that they keep proving me wrong. Maybe Prime 4 is not that unreasonable. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if it is here, it's gonna be the one last thing, but...
and sets off on a journey across Hyrule to save her kingdom. By waving the Tri-Rod at a table she found, Zelda learned how to create an imitation of it, called an echo. Once you learn an echo of something, you can recreate it whenever you'd like. Even if there's a wall blocking your path, you can create echoes of tables to get a leg up. Just like that. You can create wooden boxes, old beds, and unusual things like water blocks.
I guess this isn't surprising, but notice, like, in the corner, like, the little, UI of, like, the D-pad. That's, like, the exact same, like, UI as, you know, Breath of the Wild and stuff, I think.
Oh, nice.
I mean, well, I guess why not? It's just kind of, like, funny that it, like, looks the same. In fact, wait, the text bubble is the same, too. It's, like, the same font, italicized and everything. I mean, it's clearly not the same exact UI. It's a completely different kind of game, but, like, they're carrying over some elements of that.
Yeah.
Based on the situation. Wisdom is key after all.
So that means that Grezzo is probably making this, because they did the remake. That's also kind of what their thing is.
Yeah.
I mean, they've made a couple of original games. I remember there was like Ever Oasis that was like a kind of a late gen 3DS game. But most of what I know them for is like, yeah, they did Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask 3D. They did the Link's Awakening remake, and they're most assuredly making this.
In short, we've created a game where each player's experience will be different. The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom.
Oh, nice. It's not releasing in 2026.
Nintendo Switch Lite system inspired
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I mean, no one should buy it at this point, but like, that's neat.
If you're looking forward
That
to playing as
Switch.
in this new adventure.
Yeah.
Now, I'd like to return this moment I'd stolen away back to Mr. Takahashi.
So that was neat. I guess.
To the newest entry in the Legend of Zelda series.
So September, November. I'm guessing Mario Party was October. I wasn't paying attention. I wonder how long this game is going to stay on the Switch. With how long they clung on to the Wii for all those years. I wouldn't be...
We're back to games no one cares about.
I legitimately think there's a good shot that this, like, we legit get Just Dance games until, like, 2028 on the Switch or something. I could totally see it. Because the Switch is kind of the new Wii anyway, in a sense. Like, everyone on planet Earth has one, you know. It appeals to, you know, this... I don't know, I could see it. You know what's really weird about that too is like I think they stopped making Just Dance for the PS4 and Xbox One, but that they still were putting out Switch versions. Which is like really weird. I find that really weird when like developers do that. Like for games that clearly don't need to be Like,
Oh my god, why is this on the Switch? This is literally Horizon Dawn Zero.
this was at Summer Games
Alright.
Fest.
Yeah, I know. I just think it's surprising that Sony allowed this.
That's been a whole debate of like, did Sony
Yeah.
like allow this, or did Lego force them to put it on the Switch because Lego games are popular on Nintendo consoles? It's been a whole discussion, but from what I've
Maybe we
read,
get-
but from what
we
I've
get Horizon Zero Dawn on Switch too.
But for what I've read, it seems like Guerrilla and Sony were like on board with this being on the Switch. Which, you know, if this had happened like, you know, 8 or 9 years ago, people would have lost their minds. But remember, we live in a world where Sony puts their games on PC. So this isn't the weirdest thing ever. And remember, this isn't on Xbox. This is only on PlayStation, Switch, and PC. If this was on Xbox, I think people would like be like, "Whoa!" But it's not on Xbox. They're on something that is technically not competition, depending on who you ask. That's a whole other conversation. Of like, yeah, this game wasn't on the Switch already. I guess not. I am a little surprised that they had Horizon in the Direct, though. Then again, I wasn't paying attention. I don't remember what the release date for it is. I think it's this year. So that's probably why it's in here.
Carefully climb to the highest heights. Create new paths for yourself. And stealthily squeeze into tight spaces. Think like a cat to make your way.
You can really see those pixels.
Not everyone is excited to have you slinking around, including hordes of hostile
Actually, you kind of can't.
venture into more areas of this
Some of the other games they've shown, you can really see the pixels. With this one, it's less pixels and more just kind of like soft.
finds its way onto Nintendo Switch this holiday. Welcome home, Hobbit.
I think after this, it'll be like the last game they're gonna show, and that's it.
Now, a leisurely existence nestled away in an idyllic
I just kind of realized something. Yeah, like a few years ago, people were memeing on like the farming sims and stuff.
Yeah.
I think this is like the only one in the entire Direct that maybe you could classify as being one of those kind of games.
Oh.
Just kind of realized. I think this is like the only one. I think none of the other games they've shown so far have fallen into that category. Although I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just something I noticed. But yeah, we're probably, I mean, we gotta be approaching the end, obviously. But we haven't had the highlight reel yet. They normally do a highlight reel, and then they have the one last thing.
Nintendo Switch system this holiday. Investigate, interrogate, checkmate. Two Ace Attorney spin-off games, including a sequel.
I don't think there's been a new Ace Attorney game since like 2016.
As the prolific prosecutor
But I know they've been putting out the collections though.
and investigate crime scenes. Gather information by interviewing people and inspecting evidence. Then use the power of logic to solve challenging cases.
You're saying I also just realized we haven't had a new game for in like a long time is Mega Man. Because for the longest time, Mega Man didn't get a new game, right? After Inafune left. And all those other games got canceled. And then like the franchise was dormant for like 5 or 6 years. And then in 2017, they had that big Mega Man like anniversary stream. And then they were like, Mega Man 11, Mega Man's back, baby. And then they put out Mega Man 11, and it was received well, from what I remember. And then nothing happened after that. Except for like,
Look at the last thing will be a Xenoblade export.
I don't think the last thing would be Xenoblade X.
This looks like Persona.
This is not Persona. This is, it doesn't even look like
I don't
Persona.
care about.
You wanna know what this is? I think this is, I forget what the game is called, but there's a game that's being made by, like, the creator of, like, Danganronpa. That's what this is. I can tell because of the character designs.
I hope this isn't the last thing.
This isn't going to be the last thing. This wouldn't make any sense to be the last thing. Also, they would tell us when the last thing is. Because, like, right now, the narrator is still talking. The narrator isn't there for, like, the one last thing type reveals.
Yeah.
Their mission is to defend the school from hostile student enemies for 100 days. An academy shrouded in secrecy. And the unavoidable loss of allies. Can Takumi survive this 100-day trial, colored by extreme and despair?
So yeah, the thing after this is most certainly going to be the one last thing.
Last Defense Academy, launching on Nintendo Switch early next year.
Surely, right?
Embark on a
No, not yet.
generations.
Okay, so I guess they're going to go over the limit a little bit. I mean, the 40-minute thing isn't a hard rule. It can be 43 minutes. It's not like it really matters. Oh, it's 60 FPS. That's a little surprising. Because one thing that, for better or for worse, whenever they show off, like, Switch ports of third-party games, it's, like, always the Switch version that they show. They don't show, like, the PS5 version or the PC version. And you can tell it's the Switch version because of the, you know, the visuals.
Timeline battles, where the action order is key.
I think that might be a mandate. I don't remember, though, if it's, like, a thing that they have. Like, you have to show the Switch version. You can't just show the PS5 version, make people think that the game is going to look better than it actually will.
Every decision you make will dramatically alter the course of the story. Safeguard your empire's future and protect your legacy from peril.
Yeah, what the heck? Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the one last thing could be that isn't Prime 4. I don't know what else it could be.
Could be a Xenoblade export, maybe.
But that's not big enough. I don't know. I mean, then again, they had Xenoblade Definitive Edition once.
Full remake of Romancing
Okay, so this has got to be it.
That's almost everything for today's Nintendo Direct.
And,
Next will be our last announcement.
okay, here we go.
Let's take a look.
Alright.
Here it is.
Oh, it is Prime 4. So yeah, I knew they wouldn't. Well, it says Galactic Federation. I knew they wouldn't have to put Prime 2 and
And it's
3.
60 FPS, baby. I mean, then again, Prime 1 was, but there it is. 7 years later. And it still looks pretty good, even on the current system. But then again, Prime 1 looked pretty good. Like, that's the thing, is like, even if this game doesn't get a Switch 2 port, I mean, it's already gonna look pretty good. I mean, this looks pretty good.
Okay, well, they finally showed this off.
Now, is it 2025? Or is it 2024? That's the real question now. Is this game October, or is this game, like, spring or something stupid like that? I don't know. The fact that they're showing it off now makes me lean into it coming out this year, because if it was going to come out next year, then you may as well just wait. Almost, but then again, I mean, yeah, they had those ports, but I don't know. Metroid Prime 4, we no longer have to use that. Oh, and it has a subtitle too. And, come on, what's the date? Give us a date, come on. Ah, there it is. There it is. I guess we're gonna have to wait for the Switch 2 presentation before they give us a definitive number on that.
At Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
But hey, they showed it. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, about time.
Yeah, we got a logo and a subtitle, and it looks pretty good. It's 60 FPS. It's got good graphics. It's pretty much everything people would have wanted, as far as I can tell. I mean, I haven't played any of the games, but I don't see anything wrong with any of that.
Today's Nintendo Direct. Thank you for watching.
Alrighty then, so that had more announcements, I think, than I was expecting. No Twilight Princess or Wind Waker, shocker. But we did get a new 2D Zelda. We got, so I think, so grand total, that is, we got a new Mario and Luigi. We got Donkey Kong on the old game. We have Prime 4, finally. We have a new Mario Party. We have a new 2D Zelda. So I think, so in terms of release dates, so Zelda is in September. I didn't see what the release date for Mario Party was, but I'm guessing that's October. And then Mario and Luigi's November. Donkey Kong is January. I don't remember if there's anything in February. I think there was one other game in February, and I don't remember what it was. But yeah, for a showcase where I wasn't really expecting much, I'd say that that panned out.
But I'm gonna head out now.
Alrighty then, see ya.
Late.
Alrighty then, so that's that. Actually, not half bad. Not half bad. Is it the best direct of all time? No. But for what could possibly be one of the last Switch directs, not half bad. Not half bad. Not half bad. Let's see, actually. Now, yeah, I'm gonna leave here pretty soon because, yeah, I tried to not stay up all night for this. I tried to kind of do something a little different for this, but I didn't really fall asleep fast enough, so I don't know, I'm probably gonna go to bed after this, but yeah, let's go ahead and actually, I am curious as to when is that new game coming out. If it has a thing for it already. Is it on the site yet? Or not? I don't know. Oh yeah, and sorry Antonio for not really answering you in chat. I was kind of focused on the stream here, but a random question, what are your thoughts on Venom: The Last Dance? Haven't seen the trailer. I know the trailer's out, haven't seen it. I mean, I know I've mentioned this a couple of times, but right now, like, all the Marvel stuff, MCU, Sony, all of it is, like, very, very, very on the back burner. I'm, like, not paying attention to any of it, like, basically at all right now. Like, I mean, I know that the trailer came out, but I haven't seen it. But yeah, right now, all that Marvel stuff is very, 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 very on the back burner at the moment. Although we do have, what's it, next month? Deadpool and Wolverine's coming out, so that'll be cool. That's something that will probably be neat. But, you know, we'll get to that when we get to it, I suppose. But yeah, I guess I don't really have any thoughts on the trailer, if that's what you mean, because I haven't seen it. The name, though, is kind of odd. The Last Dance. Kind of a weird name, but it is what it is. But anyways, so yeah, looks like they actually have stuff for 2024. And, like, substantial stuff, too. Like, not just ports. Although there were ports, obviously. Donkey Kong HD, I mean, I'm not jumping up and down over that, but that's neat, I guess. Yeah, new Mario and Luigi, though, is probably, like, outside of Prime 4, that's probably the big one I'm curious about, you know? Like, who's making it? Who's making Mario and Luigi? Because I've never played any of the Mario and Luigi games. It's just not really something I've had interest in up until this point. But, who's making this game? Do we not know yet? Alpha Dream declares bankruptcy, gets a section in the release timeline. Man. But yeah, I mean, that's cool, though, that we're getting a Mario and Luigi for the people that really wanted that. I mean, personally, my Mario RPG series is always going to be Paper Mario, which is why, I'm hoping that the Thousand Year Door, sells well enough that the franchise goes back to that style, of course, like everyone else. But again, we'll see. Obviously, it's a bit too soon. But maybe hopefully in a few years when the Switch 2 Paper Mario comes out, it's more in line with the earlier games. But yeah, so long and short of it, you know what? That was actually a decent direct. In terms of first party stuff, that was actually decent, I think. I wasn't expecting much. I was really expecting it to mostly be ports, and there were some ports, but there was also some new stuff as well. Again, new Mario and Luigi, that's cool. New 2D Zelda, that's cool. And Prime 4 finally getting shown off. 60 FPS, looks pretty good, looks just as good as Prime 1 remastered. And will we get a Switch 2 version at some point? I mean, it's coming out in 2025, so the chances of us getting a Switch 2 version is definitely there. It's definitely there. But obviously, we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, so Prime 4. Yeah, we no longer have to use that logo anymore. We've been using this logo for 7 years. And now, yeah, Beyond. So, yeah. Decent event, I would say. Better than I expected. I really wasn't expecting much. There was some cool stuff in there. Nothing that's got me jumping up and down personally, but I'm sure Arlo's going to be very happy to see Prime 4, as are a lot of other people. And it's going to be really cool for Mario and Luigi to come back. And, new 2D Zelda's neat. Honestly, I'm not even sure if I'll play the new 2D Zelda, just because I didn't even bother with the Link's Awakening remake, so I don't know. I mean, it's cool that it exists, but I'm personally not jumping up and down over even a new 2D Zelda, to be completely honest, but it's cool that it's coming. But yeah, I thought it would be Prime 2 and 3 remakes. Well, I mean, you heard us talk about this earlier on in the stream, and we kind of were debating, do they need to show 2 and 3? Well, clearly the answer to that is no, they don't. I still think 2 and 3 need to come eventually, but I mean, they could announce that in the September Direct. They could totally announce that in the September Direct if they really wanted to, but I mean, to be clear, they're probably not going to be remakes, because the rumors have been that that 2 and 3 are just going to be like the old game, but like 1080p. They're not going to be a remake like Prime 1 was. But I don't know. We'll obviously have to wait and see. I mean, hopefully we get 2 and 3 in some form at some point, just so we can have the whole, quadrilogy, I think is the term, on one platform. But then again, because Xenoblade's in a similar situation, because we have Xenoblade 1 on Switch, Xenoblade 2 on Switch, and Xenoblade 3 on Switch, but we don't have Xenoblade X on Switch. Now, that's kind of a spin-off that's not connected to the main games, but still. Anyways, yeah, so that's gonna be it's gonna be it for me for now. I will probably put up a highlights on the secondary channel later today once I wake up, because I'm gonna go to bed right now probably. But we'll see. There was probably nothing in that event that made it so I need to put up a highlights, but I probably will, because there was enough notable things in there that I'll probably put up a highlights thing. So I guess stay tuned for that on the secondary channel later today or something. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's basically it for me. And yeah, in terms of the next stream, I mean, this is kind of the last big June event. We did the Xbox event, we did the State of Play. I didn't stream the Ubisoft events because I don't really care about Ubisoft stuff, but yeah, pretty much all of the big gaming events for June have happened now, so there's no more of those to stream. And in terms of like a normal stream, I don't have anything planned right now. I've been thinking about maybe doing a Smash stream again because I haven't done one of those in a long time. But there's also a part of me that's like, wait until like the hype cycle ramps up again and then we start playing it again. But that might take like a year. You know, who knows when that's going to be announced. But I don't know. I guess no streams planned for the foreseeable future at the moment. But in terms of video stuff, I mean, me and Ethan need to record a Switch 2 predictions type thing at some point. It was going to happen last month, but it just ended up getting pushed back, and it's going to happen at some point. Like I can say that pretty definitively, because there are a lot of things I say I want to do that never materialize, but that's something that, like, that's too important to not do a video on of some kind at some point before the system is announced, you know, at least. And obviously we got plenty of time because it's probably not going to be announced until October, so I got a few months to work with. But yeah, but obviously we'll have to wait and see on that. But anyways, that's it for real this time. This is Logan59XP, and I'll see you guys next time.